Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6, episode 2. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe if you are new. Share the video, and I welcome you to leave your comments. I appreciate you. Now let's get into this episode. So, disclaimer. I recorded this morning. I seen it recording, and don't know what happened. You were supposed to get this earlier today. However, I had to sacrifice some time and to do it, and because I'm trying to remain consistent, since on some things I don't remain, but I am trying to make a more conscious effort to not keep dropping and picking up my work, and this is work. So yeah, I watched it this morning, and then I also did record right after. Now, I was going off of memory. I'm really going off of memory now. So if I missed something, let me know. If there's something that we should discuss, we can get in the comments and discuss it that I didn't discuss it here. I don't care. Let's do it. Or I don't mind. I'll say that. I'll say it that much. We start the episode. I thought I would have to fast forward because of we were still at the campsite and they were doing all this storytelling. I think that production sometimes gets carried away, and it's just trying to do this editing and producing that is just not needed. Tell us the story, entertain us, yes, but it's just like, no, I'm not trying to watch Lifetime on Bravo. Stop it. Anyways, the ladies get up because they stayed overnight. Some are brushing their teeth at the river. Heather talking about her Botox doesn't allow her to spit like she used to. For me, I would think if Heather is in the beauty industry, especially in the whole, market of restoration, of skin and things of that nature, I expect you to at least be on the know as to what works and what doesn't work. Meaning, I shouldn't expect that many slip-ups as far as that Botox shouldn't be doing that to you if you use the right stuff, just saying. Bronwyn, Angie, and Meredith, they're cooking. Bronwyn doesn't know what she's doing. She's trying to cook up some steaks, and Mother Mary was like, and Bronwyn agreed with her, like, look, don't let me near anything. She was right, blah, 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 blah. The ladies sit down. I don't know how conversation started. I believe it was just Heather. She did let us know that her last child and her daughter, Annabelle, is going off to college. And this is an era that she's ready to leave behind. Because of what is instilled, that the woman is supposed to be home, take care of the children and the household, while the man provides. She had no days off, really. And she was there to just be the maid and mattress for her tang. She was saying that she's eager to let it go and let this girl go on. She loves her children. The whole position that they've set women in under patriarchy is just taking a toll on her. Bronwyn tried to relate through trauma by saying, I'm not ready to let my daughter go. And she wasn't, from what I saw. She said, I could relate in, you're doing one thing in the opposite way as far as releasing your children because of what's going on or what you've had to deal with and what was instilled in you. On the other end, I am not ready to let my daughter go because I just don't feel like I'm a great mom, or I haven't done everything I'm supposed to do, that now I've let my daughter's boyfriend come live with us. That last part I didn't understand, bro. And why? Who cares? You're trying to compromise yourself just to, and possibly some morals, or maybe you don't have any in regards to this because of how you were raised up in the Mormon church, and don't fornicate. If you date, can't do this, can't do that, da-da-da-da-da. There's different rules. Heather let us know on what you can do and what you can't do, da-da-da-da-da, and how people try to bend the rules without getting in trouble. Maybe it's along that line you were thinking. But anyways, Heather didn't like it. Heather felt like Bronwyn was trying to one-up her because it came off to Heather that Bronwyn was trying to act like she's a better parent because she doesn't want to lose her child as of yet. And she was like, no, it's the way that she was raised in regards to after she got pregnant, nobody wanted anything to do with her. She was shunned from her parents and even from the baby's father. and the in-laws and all that. So it's just like, you know, I get where Brown was coming from. Then Whitney tags along talking about, you know, I really wish that I could be a stay-at-home mom, but because of my family business, I can't. And we already talked about what Whitney's going through, but I guess now we're elaborating on it. And it looks like Whitney Rose Beauty, was it? Wasn't working, so they came up with another scheme set up by Todd to merge two businesses, or merge a business. That's what we're hearing. This would have been the third business that has changed since Whitney Rose has gotten on this show. She had a business starting out. Then she changed it to Whitney Rose Beauty. Dumped out all their savings. And in result to all of this, Justin had to get another job. And then by season 3, she was sitting there being, to me, manipulative to Justin, like, you need to spend more time at home, and then using your trauma of whatever you dealt with that we still don't know what it is, but you're going through this healing journey. As y'all can see, I don't really see it for that, have I haven't. I really haven't really seen it for since season 2, just to let you know. Anyways, but yeah, so Whitney is in line to sign up with food stamps and joining the regular folk and getting a job. I don't know if she's there or not, but that's how I'm putting it. Mary kind of just sweetened up what was going on, I think, between Heather and Brownwyn, and she just said, look, I only really had Robert Sr. to help me with Robert Jr. And I needed help. Heather, looking at you, I commend you with 3 children, because I don't know what I would do. I think Mary was just trying to get the intensity out of the room and friction that was out of not the room, but the atmosphere, because they were outdoors. But yeah, everybody goes home to their respective places. Mary sits down with her son, Robert Jr. They're catching up and giving updates. Robert Jr., how he's feeling at this moment. And I forgot the word that he used. Out of place? No. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. In other words, he was kind of just stagnant. He's not around his usual friends because he's trying to get out of that world of being a drug user. So he really doesn't know what to do with his life and with his time because of how much he preoccupied his time with them. Mary did say that, you know, she's really trying to relinquish her helicopter mom behavior that she's had toward Robert Jr. and stepping back and allowing Robert to make the choices that he needs to make for his life, choices and decisions for his life. He did confess that he did smoke weed, and he was also feeling like a failure because he messed up. Mary encouraged him and said, we fall down, but we get up. Yeah, we do. Robert, every day is not going to be sunny. I mean, I don't know how heavy your drug use was, but when you've been in a habit of doing something, you're breaking it, yes, and still your body is craving it, and you're going to have cravings, and you can fall, and we're here to lift you up. What I will say about Robert Jr., you know, maybe people haven't taken this in consideration. He's a PK, meaning preacher's kid, and there's already this standard that is on anyone that's in ministry, and he feels like he's letting people down and just not and all that because of him having a vulnerable human moment. So I think I understand where he's coming from, and even in how he feels. I think outside of his mom, just either I know people love life coaches, just get some therapy to talk some things out. I think your mother is a good sounding board. She's there to listen. She ain't there to fuss at you. She's there to encourage you and all that, from what I've seen. And I always commend Mary for how she's seen whatever happens off camera. But I don't think that he would be this open and vulnerable with her if she was a different person off camera. Just the hunch I have, you know. So yeah, so I just say pray for Robert. You know, he's also got some stuff going on currently with the law, with stuff that he was doing. So, but all I can say that there are hills and valleys that we go through in life, and he's gonna get there. I think he's gonna get to the mountaintop, and that's what I believe, and that's what I pray for, and that's what I decree for his life. All right, so Heather and Brown. No, Heather and Lisa. Or like who I like to say, Gretchen Wiener and Regina George meet up. Gretchen has come to report to Regina all that what was done while Lisa was away. And Heather lets her know what happened, who was talking about it, what was said. Brown was doing this, going through all these court cases. Angie was talking. She tried to compare you to Jen Shaw, all that, And then Lisa said, "Who has my back?" Well, I did, Regina. I did. What about Meredith? Meredith at the beginning, she was vocal, but then towards the end, it got more intense, and Meredith didn't say nothing. But I was the good one. I am your faithful do-gooder. Please tell me you like me. That's basically Heather's position. Heather, you lied. Could Meredith been more vocal? Yeah, but you're trying to shush another 5 or 6 other women to shut up about Lisa, even though this is a show where you bring up stuff. If she's already said and then disengage as how Meredith always is about stuff until you really activate her about I think that Heather, you could be a more valuable person if you would have at least questioned Lisa about these things. Of course, Lisa gave that none of this is true, none of this is true, none of this is true. And she ended up being an elitist that Heather called out in the confessionals, but probably not to her face. Lisa really thinks that she's above everyone, and how I live my life is just not how you live yours. But you're still on a show, just like the rest of us. You still got to negotiate this and that, and miss out on money. Possible, but it's just like, man, you couldn't do what you get done now without Bravo. You wouldn't be somewhat of the face of Salt Lake City, even though Mary really is. But I mean, you're getting all the endorsements for Bravo, so yeah, so you're getting all the endorsements and stuff. So quit trying to down on other people and quit listening to the internet about you. Yes, you play a vital role, and people seem to want to suck up to you. Why? I don't know why. But anyways, I think she cried a little bit. Of course, that's what Lisa does. Next scene. Brown and Heather, they meet. Basically, Brown is saying, I know how you took it, but that's not how I meant it, as far as the whole conversation with my daughter and keeping her the da-da-da-da-da. Heather said what she felt. She's like, no, that's not what I was saying, da-da-da-da-da. They were getting to common ground, and then Heather wanted to go in on Brown for bringing up anything about Lisa. As if for the last 5 seasons, y'all wenches have not sat around and talked about other people's business. Heather, you're acting like you are not Velma, who doesn't try to find out stuff. Now that it's your Lord and Savior, Lisa Barlow. Now, oh my God, what are we doing? What are we doing? Is this, how did Monique say it? Is this who we are? Shut up. You don't have a show without this. So they were kind of had some more friction, and then I think Brown was like, oh, wait, I thought we were moving past this and trying to be friends. Heather pulled it together, but let's just say it's a soft truce, because Heather don't like that girl. And Brown, you need to stop trying to get the approval of these people. Who is Heather? For real. Yep, she is a part of pop culture in regards to receipts, timeline, all that good stuff. She is, but who is Heather? She hasn't had a storyline. Well, I don't think she had a storyline, because I stopped watching. Unless y'all can fill me in on what her storyline is. I'm sure it's groundbreaking when you tell me. Anyways, Brown then also meets up with Whitney. They're skiing someplace, and it's just 2 people that have something against Lisa Barlow that Brown thinks is going to be a friend to her, basically. Thank you for having my back in regards to that. And Whitney was like, yeah, for sure, because we were able to relate on how Lisa has done you, and that's all that was. That's all that was. Now let's move on to the main event. I don't know how they got there, but this lady named Amy Stutter, she's a socialite of Utah. Heather says that there aren't really socialites in Utah. Basically, it's the church. The ones that are prominent in the church and in the hierarchy and all that, those are the ones you look up to and ooh and ah and yeah. But she sticks out because she's one of the other ones that get to shine. So they're invited to this party at this woman's house, home, mansion, and they go. Lisa and John are the last ones to go. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, because Lisa's going to be there to confront who all has been talking about her. Well, not everyone. But anyways, Lisa comes in. She talks with Meredith. She's like, oh, you know, I've been hearing that there's stuff's been going on. Like, tell me what's up. Meredith gives her the down low. And then Brittany says, I have an announcement. I got to clock in for 1 second. While Meredith's talking about, I think, Brownwood. Well, Brownwood was saying this and this. But Angie also said, compared you to Jen Shawshank. Oh. Well, some of the other ladies were hearing the conversation that Lisa and Meredith and Brittany were having, and they go back and tell Angie what's going on. So she's already prepared for when Lisa comes to her, which I think is just dumb. I know that they're just gossiping and all that stuff. I mean, it's probably a closed area and they're just hearing stuff. But I mean, let's throw Angie off for a few minutes. Lisa tries to talk to Angie about the Jen Shaw thing. She didn't really get to the point of getting an answer before Brown came over and said, I heard you was looking for me. Here I go. But not really. Because Lisa said, no, I wasn't looking for you. I don't want to talk to you. You're dismissed. Oh no. Brown said, no. Oh, we should talk because I'm the one that brought all this stuff up about you. We find out that Lisa's got all these loans out, and lawsuits in regards to loans. She had borrowed some money, I guess what was supposed to be for the business, but she was also keeping it a secret from John, according to these text messages that were also released in the lawsuit. Then you hear Lisa talking about, because she already said that over with Angie, about, I don't even understand how, Brown was not even a lawyer, and I don't even think that she went to college. So she repeated her read that she already was, which was already rehearsed before even getting there, to Brown. And she said, why are you worried about if I want going to college? You need to go get a job and pay your legal bills. And of course, she started talking about Lisa, about Brown being a gout ding-dong sucker. I said, oh. Now, how the trailer set it up, it looked like Brown was eating it first, and then Lisa came in with that. How it aired, like, okay, go Lisa. Just trying to call him old. Whitney was like, gout? I thought gout was in the foot, the leg. Yes, but gout actually travels throughout your body. My brother-in-law, rest in peace, he had it. And he actually, it came up to his groin area. It moved up to his groin area. I don't know if it actually was at the main spot, the dingling part, but it was there, and he had a major pain from it. So yeah, it travels. I think Lisa was just saying, like, you suck pinging in order to get your bills paid. And she said, at least, Brown said, at least my husband is paying my bills. Why do you have other people, that other man paying bills? This is something that was alluded by Angie, as far as Angie said last season, Lisa has another man paying to get her lips pumped and all that stuff. So she has another financier, like maybe another sugar daddy on the side. So mine is coming genuine. And yours, well, here we go. So you need to do all that. Brown hung in there. And she got Lisa up off of her, even though she came over to her. And all of a sudden, you know, this is just stupid. You're disgusting. I'm going to go. You thought your reads were going to really hit and make Brown go cry. Now, there aren't that too many readers on the cast. You know, I was shocked to see Lisa and Mary hug. I was very shocked. Did y'all see that? But Mary is the main reader. Angie is, but she goes gutter snipe with her stuff. Brownwood's starting to be a reader, as I can see. I would need to see a rematch between Brownwood and Angie. But Angie's always going to take it there really quick to get you off her real quick. So it's just like, is it a fair match? I don't know. But anyways, that was the end of the episode. I enjoyed it. I do feel like this should have been the season opener instead of what we did already go through. They could have did, remember season 6? I think the season opener ended up being As Cynthia, she was opening up her building for a modeling agency, and people were dressed in white, and Kenya and Nene were getting into it, and nobody is going to tell me who can and who can't show up to my event. Da, 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 da. Remember that when Kenya was talking about Walter and why he was invited and all that. Da, 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 da. It's okay that you invited him, but you didn't even let me know because I could have came. Da, 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 da. I think that was the season opener, if I remember correctly. So, anyways, I'm sick and tired of getting Kenya together, and I'm Team Twirl. Whatever. That's all I got. Let me know what you thought of this episode. And I have no notes. I think that this was a better episode than how it started. They were a little rusty getting into the season, but it looks like we're off to a good start. I was shocked that read about the gout already came in episode 2. So there's a lot more that we're going to see during the season, and it's going to be cool to actually watch. I appreciate you coming by. Like this video, subscribe, share, and do your business in the comments with me. Until the next one, peace.